Robert Johnson, born on May 8, 1911 in Mississippi, became the pioneer of the Delta blues. Although this was groundbreaking, he became more popular due to the fact that he went to a crossroads in Mississippi to meet with the devil to sell his soul in exchange for flawless guitar skills. Keep in mind that he was not inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just because of his guitar skills, but rather due to the fact that he sold his soul, and this is why they use Robert Johnson as an example for the rest of the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers to look up to. He was tragically killed by the age of 27, making him the first celebrity to belong to the 27 Club. Now, some say he was poisoned by the husband of a lover he was seeing. Others say he may have died a more violent death. Nevertheless, we will never know the truth as a whole concerning Robert Johnson, but I do believe that we can take a closer look at his life. Thank you for tuning into the Mystic Circle. This is Rafiki Simone, your Mystic Mama, and I'm going to be doing an intense, intuitive reading on Robert Johnson. He is the pioneer of rock and roll, or Delta blues, and let me just tell you something. The energy is very, I got shit falling. Energy is very, very many-folded. I'm going to just keep looking at my camera to make sure that everything is still recording. Yeah, so, as you can see, just a little bit of what I've touched on his life. He has, he didn't live long, just 27 years old when he passed. But supposedly he made a deal with the devil. And I want to just take a look into his life and see what was surrounding him at that time. So let's see what Robert Johnson may have to say, coming from the beyond. Only Robert Johnson, only Robert Johnson from Mississippi, who is the pioneer of the Delta blues, coming through. That's just you only. I am protected. Well, when he made the deal, he was looking at the new possibilities. He didn't think that he would have to pay with his life. He was looking at the new possibilities and what things could be and how things could change for the better. And he was actually envisioning himself becoming an older man that would be able to get the accolades that he wanted. Nevertheless, that's not what, how can I say this? It wasn't in the plans of the one who was at the crossroads with him. And it seems like his life may have been a sacrifice so that people can see that the deal at the crossroads was real. You know what I'm saying? Not so much being as famous for his life's work like he is famous for selling his soul. Since this is sticking out. Brilliance. Brilliance. So let's talk about brilliance. He's highlighting the fact that he felt as if he had grown to be an original guitarist. And he also felt, because he had been through some things and seen some things even before the deal, that he was able to write and translate into his music. Right? So the brilliance of it all comes through in the small amount of music that he does have. Sacred. Well, the Crossroads has an energy like none other. The Crossroads is nothing to play with when it comes to, I don't know about how y'all may feel, but I know in my neck of the woods in Louisiana and in the South, the Crossroads is really truly a symbolization of being in between worlds. You know what I'm saying? Literally, you ever heard somebody say neither here nor there? Well, back in the old days, that's what the Crossroads was. The Crossroads, especially in the South, are literal portals. Literally, portals, realms, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are. When you play a musical instrument, at the whatever you may do, roll dice, dance at, and it has to be at a certain time of the day and a certain time at night. And I won't say, but some people say that this is Papa Legba, that you will be able to make, you'll be able to make the deal with. Nevertheless, he is not an entity to be played with. So he does feel like that it was still a sacred meeting that he had. Also, given the fact that he felt the energy being very intense. Nevertheless, this man was not a scary looking man. That's what I am seeing. Yeah, so Robert Johnson, we want to talk about the shame of it all. He was married, and yet he was cheating on his wife with another woman who was married to a very possessive man, who supposedly in turn took Robert Johnson out. However, we know that sometimes these things can be made up in order to really mask the real reason why this person left this earth. But there was a lot of shame. He felt like he brought his wife shame. He felt like he brought her shame because she had to still live on the earth and deal with what people were saying, right? So, basically almost having to take the blame for something that he was doing or that he did. She didn't make him cheat. He cheated because he wanted to, right? God, well, if he was not praying to God before he met the devil, he definitely was praying afterwards. He's now talking about how also he reached out and began to pray. He felt death chasing him, and he felt like the devil was getting ready to come to collect. I see toward the end of his life, he was very paranoid. I see that he was drinking all the time. His eyes were very huge, rather big, always taking his hat off to scratch his head, put his hat back on, looking around his surroundings. I do see that he kept a gun on him toward the end of his life. I also do see him walking along the railroad tracks. What does that mean? I don't have a clue. But I am being told that I do need to go and watch the movie The Crossroads. There is a movie actually made. For him. I did see clippings, but I did not see all of the movie. Okay, I didn't see all of the movie. Yeah. The joy card. So let me say this, because this is highly important. um, he really began to feel his joy slip away from him. He felt like he was in a contract that he couldn't get out of. And that's when it really started to dawn on him that, his life will be taken for this thing. And, sometimes you gotta outweigh your options. And what I'm hearing him say is that, you'd rather keep your joy intact and your freedom intact than for you to sell your soul and then deal with the consequences, which is irreversible and it's irrevocable. Yeah, so he started. It seems like the rumors may be true. He tried to battle the devil to get out of the contract. It seems like there are a lot of other. It seems like that there are a lot of other artists, and people in the industry who do feel like they could get out. I'm going to be honest with you. He's showing me that there is something that you do that makes you binding with the devil. Something dealing with the blood exchange. I know a lot of people say you sign your name in blood, using blood on the contract with the devil. And this is one of the reasons why it is very important for y'all to cut etheric soul ties, spirit soul ties, cut all cords, ethereal cords, that will connect you to a person, place, or a thing that no longer serves you. This is one of the reasons why. Because, the Satan, he deals with, who you call Satan deals with contracts. Okay, very legalistic, very legal. Making sure that whatever it is y'all have agreed to is binding and standing. Yeah, see, yeah, I told y'all he was trying to compete with the devil to get out of the contract. Well, that's where it is. You see that? Trying to compete with the devil to get out of the contract, and he lost every time. He was stuck. See? So, listen, a lot of you are out here, are out here trying to, tap into a lot of magical, mystical things. But I'm going to just tell you something. It's best that y'all set boundaries for yourself and boundaries for entities. And the reason why I'm saying it is because if you don't set a boundary for yourself and you free will and you don't have any kind of self-control, you will find yourself going into the dark side very quickly. And it will be hard for you to get out. So he's saying that this is very important in the spiritual realm, boundaries. Since this is just out there like that, let me pull it out. Form taking shape, something taking form, something taking shape. Well, we want to talk about boundaries and form, right? Boundaries and form. This is letting the right things take its shape as you shed those things that no longer serve you. Sorry, my stuff cut off. If you're forming something, you're shaping it. You're molding it to become whatever you want it to be. And honestly and truly, he never seen that because he did not set boundaries for the devil. What happened is that the devil began to form and mold and shape. Because see, at the end of the day, you are in the land of the supposed living, right? And in this realm, you can't set certain boundaries and you can't do certain things and go so far, whatever. Well, he just was so desperate that he wanted what he wanted when he wanted it. And I hear the words. You know what I hear? I hear that I'm hearing Robert Johnson is telling me that he told the devil that he wanted to be immortalized. He wanted to live forever. And that's one of the reasons why he's so famous in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You see, died at a young age, become famous for making a deal with the devil, and you will always be talked about. So do you see that? See that? What an fair exchange was it? But when you're not specific, when you are manifesting and putting intentions out there, you do give the universe plus any entities, whether good or bad, to answer what you want because you were too lazy to set specific intentions. Yeah, he knew. Said he had an inner knowing that he had messed up. At that point, it was just too late. I'm trying to keep this stuff right here where y'all can see it. Put it right here. Yeah, success. So, you know, the success of it all, people, is the fact that, you know, again, like I told y'all, and it's coming out, you know, he became immortalized for the sake of the devil, you know, and he's saying that everything, he is saying that it was a success on the devil's part. Let me draw two more. Yeah, he wish he would have lived longer. He wish he would have lived longer. Even though he got what he wanted, he got cheated. He got cheated out of, he was manipulated out of a lot. He could have literally lived longer and been bigger than what he was. But, you know, when you want things and you want to summon up the devil to get it, you better be careful. He's a trickster. Yeah, very hard on himself. Very hard on himself. Oh my God. Well, I think I could end it there. I think I could end it there, don't you think so? Thank you for tuning in to the Mystic Circle. This is Rafiki Simone, your Mystic Mama. The Shango card. Shango for him. You can email me at mysticcircle24@gmail.com. The Three of Air. Nine of Water. Let's look that up and see. In the Orisha deck. Oh, we know the Shango card is. He represents judge or magistrate, right? Justice, balance, fairness. So, you know, if you sold your soul and you know you're going to have to pay with your life, then, I mean, the fairness and the balance and the justice in it is that you fulfilled your end of the bargain with your life. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand this. So, you know, I can go deep, but you know, when it comes to this, it's a politic all by itself. It's politics. This Shango card is when someone has reached a settlement. You know, and I just told you the devil had a success in collecting his soul. Okay. Let's talk about the Nine of Water. This is usually talking about prosperity, right? Being close to happiness. Being close to happiness. The imbalance between emotions. There's no imbalance between emotions and the mind. That's what it says. I am reading out of the book. I just want y'all to know that. So, you know, I'm trying to make sense of it all. I'm still, this deck is still new to me. The Three of Air, though, watch this. The Three of Air. Danger. So let's talk about the imagery, because as we can see, the imagery on this card is dealing with water and him getting the fishnet. So this is basically letting me know that, you know, he's in the underworld. He's in the underworld. Robert Johnson is in the underworld, y'all. The Three of Air. Breakup. Danger. Trouble and obstacles. Violence. So he did die violently, y'all. He did die violently. That's the confirmation that we can walk away with for sure. He did die violently. Thank you for tuning into the Mystic Circle. I know this is short and sweet, but I hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Please get in touch with me. I am Rafiki Simone, your Mystic Mama. Check out the description box below. Until then, thank you for your time. To my new subscribers, I thank you. To my subscribers that's been rocking with me since day one, and y'all coming on the boat. Thank y'all nevertheless. Okay, y'all have a peaceful night.